Hey guys, what's up? Inksmith back again, and today we're going to go over the Brandon/Bryce video. If you don't understand what this is the guy who dressed up in the Halo armor and threatened Emily and said he was going to curb stomp her, according to Emily, within her report on Shannon. Shannon then denied this, and in turn, Bryce himself made a video defending Shannon. This is the only person who came through to defend Shannon. Now, I want you to remember where the scale lies right now. You've got probably about 20 or 30 people who made videos about how they were pretty much harassed or abused secretly by Shannon via her lolcow account and sock puppet accounts, or just in general talk trash about or asked for their money back that she donated to them. This is the only person who came forward for Shannon. And there's a couple ground rules I'm going to lay for today's video. Number one, I do not endorse any harassment of anybody. I don't want anybody going to this guy's channel, leaving mean comments, trying to shame him, or even go there and start an argument with him whether or not his story is true. I don't want to body shame this guy. Number two, I'm not going to do any sort of body shaming facially or how his hair is or how his face is or anything like that. I've heard plenty of videos out there that start out by talking about this being a creepy video or the lighting or whatever. That's not cool. I don't condone that either. I don't think that's an appropriate thing to be talking about, let alone does it add anything to this conversation we're about to have. On top of it, number three, I'm not going to attack anything via insults. The one sort of touchy subject I'm going to delve into is there's one part where Bryce begins to question and talk about the past mental history of Emily. So in turn, I have given him the same treatment and asked about his own. Now, that's my final three things that I'm going to say. The last thing is, of course, I am more than willing to talk to Bryce or anyone who wants to talk about Shannon, who was her friend in the past, or Emily's friend in the past, that doesn't believe Emily, to come on stream and we will talk live. We can discuss this. We can have a debate. You can even voice your side of what you thought or saw or felt or your conditions within the situation that happened. I'm more than ready to give you your own platform to speak on and talk to you about this on a live stream where I don't have notes prepared or anything like that. I'm not the type of guy who's going to hide behind DMs and Twitter or attack somebody in the comments. I've not even left a comment on Bryce's video at all. And I stand by that. I'm not somebody who backs down or worries about a live debate. I'm more than happy to face one, even if it means I'm going to be proven completely wrong. And if I am, then even more so, I look forward to talking to someone live about this. Last but not least, I feel this is very important. If this video is attempted to be struck down via DMCA or copyright strike, I will take it the full legal course to keep it up. This is transformative. This follows all the DMCA rules. I am transforming this piece and voicing over it. I'm stopping it at certain points and making commentary, and I will fully claim it right back. The only way you would be able to take this down is if you try to take me to court, and you would need an international lawyer because I live in Japan, and no, I'm not scared to give you my address to fight me legally because my address is in kanji and you probably won't even be able to read it. So anyone who's out there to try and be a do-gooder for the Shannon side and take this video down, come at me. We'll go to court. You can hire an international lawyer, but you better have as much money as a full corporation because they're not cheap. That said, let's get into the video. I'm going to let it play, stop it at points, and make commentaries showing where I found some holes, let's say, in Bryce's retort to Emily.
Hello. I am the alias Brandon, also known as my real name, Bryce. I would like to address today the accusations and claims by Emily Artful. I am here to give my input on what I know to be the truth of the events that took place that Emily Artful speaks of. I can only speak of the events where I was present, and that is what I will be addressing today. The accusations of me threatening to curb stomp her is not only untrue, but I believe it to be unbelievable, given that at the time I was a 90-pound untreated autistic man that gawked and gleed over a video game called Halo.
All right, so already we're running into a bit of a problem here with Bryce. A 90-pound male, let's give it to him and say that's what he is. He's 90 pounds. Emily is 5'2". She stated it multiple times in multiple videos. She's tiny, okay? 5'2" is very tiny. You're about to see video of full-bodied Bryce, and yeah, he looks like he's pretty skinny. He definitely has a very slim build. We can give him that. On the other hand, it does not appear that Bryce is 5'1". We're about to see a full-size body shot of him running around, and the guy looks to be definitely taller than 5'7", I'd say. At the least, you'd have to give him like 5'6", okay? I can't measure him because there's not a measuring point in this video, but Emily's 5'2", and for an average 20-year-old 5'2" female who, as Emily looks, appears to be of at least average weight, maybe lower than average weight, you're talking about anywhere from 80 on the low scale to 112 pounds on the higher scale at that time. So we're not talking about a massive difference here. On top of it, you've definitely got height over her at that time, and you are a male with more physical upper body strength just by environment alone, just by nature alone. I'm not sure why you would think you being 90 pounds and being into Halo would make you less intimidating to a single female at 5'2". I would not want to be threatened by someone at your height who was 90 pounds as a man of my age and height, and I am 6 foot and roughly, I'd say probably 70 kilograms. Sorry, we go by kilograms out here in Japan. I don't see why you wouldn't appear to be pretty scary to a young 5'2" female. I'm not sure why you think this doesn't sound intimidating. What you do say is that doesn't sound intimidating to me, as in Bryce, you. You're also a male who's not 5'2" and not a woman. I'm not really sure how your take on what is intimidating should also be used on what Emily's take is intimidating. That makes literally no sense.
So if you're trying to claim that the person with violent outbursts and rage is this person.
There's no sound in this part, so I'm just going to talk over it. Yeah, I mean, you can tell this guy's not 5'2". Am I right? I'm not sure why this wouldn't be intimidating.
I have a hard time believing that that would be any real threat. I don't
Now listen to this closely one more time. Listen to exactly what Bryce says here.
I have a hard time believing that that would be any real threat.
I have a hard time believing that would be a real threat. Now, see, here's the thing. We're not asking Bryce if he felt like that was a real threat. Also, did you make the threat then? Is that what you're saying? If you're saying, I don't think that would be a threat, that would mean you actually did make this threat. All you're trying to say is that even though I threatened you, I really don't think you should take that seriously because I wouldn't take it seriously. But the thing is, we're not asking you if you felt like it was a threat. We're asking Emily if she felt like it was a threat. And if you did threaten her and those are the words you said, she would have every right to say, yes, that felt like she was threatened by you. We are not asking how you felt about your own threat.
I don't generally talk openly about other people's mental issues, but given the situation, I am telling you these events so that you may have a better understanding of the person that you are choosing to believe and trust. From what I have seen of this person, they were extremely unstable, but nice enough. I can recall times of mental breakdowns where she'd be covered in black paint and would be trying to keep it as to not let the darkness escape, as she claimed, while also carrying a bag of her own teeth from when she was a child.
He says, from what I remember from my own events, at what age, at what grade, at what time in your life, when did these happen? Some of Shannon's posts are from 2005, 17 years ago. Is this how she was 17 years ago? Is that what you still judge her by? Also, Bryce, you mentioned you don't usually judge somebody by mental illness or mental problems. So you don't want to do that, but you have to do this to let us know about how Emily was. So, Bryce, can we do the same thing then? Can we say, would someone who dressed up in Halo armor and played violent games and once threatened to shoot people at his own school, was someone mentally unstable enough to say they would curb stomp someone? I mean, I don't usually address people's mental illnesses, but in this case, I will only because you did.
As for the breakup between her and Anthony, Anthony came to me one day asking if I could break up with her for him because he had already tried 3 times and she persisted. I was on the phone with her for probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes, as she pleaded to me to keep her relationship as if I had any say. I proceeded to tell her that it's over and there's nothing you can do about it because it's no longer your choice, in which she started screaming incoherently, and I hung up the phone. Or I gave it back to Anthony, I can't remember which one.
Okay, so his story matches up to what Emily said. She said when she broke up with Anthony, Bryce was put on the phone, and that's when he said he would curb stomp her if she didn't talk to him anymore. So that part's true. You've actually exonerated Emily at this point. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say you didn't say, I'm going to curb stomp you. You said it was simply just not her choice anymore to make and hung up while she was screaming. Okay, the only thing that's changed is a couple of words that you said, but your story literally matches up to what Emily said. And on top of it, shows how Anthony operates still the same to this day. Too scared to talk to people himself. Always quick to hide behind others and let them do the bidding for them. I noticed this just happened with Shannon, where she had to do a lot of trash talking for Anthony. So are you different from her? You don't have to do Anthony's trash talking for him? You didn't have to say something like a curb stomp? Because to me, it just looks like another one of Anthony's minions doing his dirty work for him here.
I recall times where if she would become too stressed, her brain would simply shut down and she would pass out wherever she was as a defense mechanism of whatever situation she could not handle at the time.
And once again, I ask, what time was this happening? Because once again, Shannon kind of ruined your response by posting stuff as far back as 2005. Are you talking about her from that age? Because you're not giving us any timestamps, any age, any time period, any year, nothing. How long ago are we talking? Do you think she really still does this to this day? Be real. What does Emily's past mental drawbacks, mental illness, mental hangups, whatever you want to call them, what do they have to do with this fight that they're having with Shannon? This accusation of Shannon being a stalker. How does Emily passing out in the past when she got frustrated with the situation have to do with Shannon stalking her? Why are we going so off topic here?
As for the video in general that she's put out into the internet, in my opinion, it is a blatant cash grab.
I hate this excuse. You made a video for cash grab. You made a video for views. Considering videos are something we look at with our eyes, yeah, most people tend to make videos for views. Why is this an issue? Also, for money, actually, I would disagree with this one. She starts the video off by talking about that she's pretty sure this video is going to cancel her, that she's not really sure if anybody's going to believe her, that this might ruin her career, that she was doing this because she could not take the harassment anymore or the stalking. Remember, Creepshow Art was more established at this time. She had not been called out. The locale leaks had not happened yet. And Emily wasn't very sure this was going to go her way. She made this out of desperation. She made this to get the word out there. She made this to call out her stalker. Did she get views and money from it? Yeah, that's how YouTube works when you're a YouTuber. She worked her way up to that. That's residual. But her main purpose was out of desperation and the need to get a stalker out of her life and her family's life. She's a mom now, and it's very scary when you have someone with this level of harassment and stalking going on when you're attempting to protect your family and your kids. That would definitely drive me to make a video. I wouldn't care how much it ruined my career. I would protect my kids first, and that's what she did.
Off of a YouTube video, a results of a Amber Heard cancel culture. I've seen the video. From what I can tell, most of it is fabricated, but only in halves. For example, she makes a claim that I did not like Shannon at all during the time we were all living together. That part is true. I was very frustrated with everyone, as I was also homeless. The fabricated part is trying to get Shannon fired. See, Emily fabricates things in half-truths, half of it being a fact, and half of it being made up. It is a clever way to hide the lies and also the truth.
Okay, I'm starting to get lost here. He's comparing this to the cancellation of Amber Heard. In what sense? In the sense of her being like a feminist and saying she was better than some of the other actors and got paid a lot, or that she broke up with Johnny Depp and they had a bit of a falling out and there was some abuse going on there? Huh? Please explain to me how that has anything to do with this situation. It's not even like a reflection, a comparison, a simile to. I don't understand how we are getting this off topic. Then we get into things are half-truths and half-lies. The part where Emily said you didn't like Shannon was true. Okay. I'm not sure how that prevents or stops anyone from thinking Shannon was a stalker. And then the part that was a truth was that she didn't try to get Emily fired from a job? I think that's what you're trying to say. It sounds like you said Emily tried to get Shannon fired from a job. I am super confused. But either one of these things don't really make any sense. And there's no evidence or anything to back them up. At least Emily came forward with screenshots. At least Emily came forward with full stories and explanations of what she was talking about. I do not quite understand what you are talking about in this, because your explanations of situations are so incredibly vague. No date, no time, no anything, no job that you're even talking about, no relation to where Shannon and Emily were at this time. What lies were lies and what truths were truths? You've given us two very vague, sort of gray area explanations that, again, prove nothing. Like, if you're really going to stand up for someone, please give them a little more concrete proof to back them up. Because what I'm hearing now is someone who has been begged by Shannon to please stand up for me and make a video going against this horrible person, Emily, who's putting me down. And you thinking this is some sort of cancel culture thing when it's not. It's about stalking. and then bringing up some very vague memories from your past that don't really relate to the situation and aren't even fully understood by us, the audience. So I'm not sure why this is even done.
As for contact with Emily, I never really judged her on any of her mental disabilities or anything she had been going through. The last time we had all interacted, I had the impression that we were all friends. So being blindsided by her years later randomly was disappointing.
You never judged her on her mental instability in the past. I guess until now, until this video. Now you have judged her on her mental instability from the past. That seems very odd to make that statement after you literally just did it earlier in your video. So what are we supposed to believe? This is the first time you've ever talked trash on Emily? Really?
I have no idea why you decided to lie. I have no idea what you were thinking. I have no idea why you have decided to go after so many people in your past that have done nothing, and the ones that stuck by your side the most are the ones that you are attacking the deepest. But I'm sure you know best.
How do you not know why she's making her video? I think most of us are pretty clear on it. She was stalked for years. Also, all the people from her past, let's see, there's you, and then Shannon and her husband. I'm not sure who these other people are. You sound like she went after a massive group of people. There was a massive group of people that joined her in coming out about Shannon being an evil person. There weren't a massive amount of people that came out defending Shannon. In fact, there was only you, and you were included in Emily's rant. Kind of suspicious, wouldn't you say? I really don't know how you don't understand what her video was made for. Did you watch the video? Did you listen to it? Because if you did, there's no way you wouldn't understand what her video is about. This is such a lost the plot remark.
I'm going to end this video now, and I hope that this has brought some enlightenment to the situation. We all know what's right, and we all know what's wrong. Maybe you thought you were trying to be cool, but we all know the only real way you can be cool is to do the right thing. We all make mistakes. Hopefully, you have learned your lesson. The more people speak up, the better.
Okay, now I just feel like I'm listening to a condescending PSA. What? You hope you've learned your lesson and now everybody knows the truth. No, actually, everybody knows what a horrible person Shannon is, and they came out and said it in multiple videos. That's the truth. The only truth that finally came out is that she's been going behind everybody's back and talking trash. In fact, Bryce, you don't seem like that bad of a dude. I would really check your own back the next time Shannon tries to pat you on it. She might be holding a knife.
Do not hide in the shadows. Do not wait for your chance. I want you to seize the moment, only so you can express the truth. No more lies, no more deception, no more sellouts. All I'm giving you is what I know to be the truth, nothing more.
Okay, so stop hiding in the shadows and come out and finally tell the truth. Well, wait a second. Didn't you just say the video that Emily made was half truths and half lies? So she's already told some of the truth, even according to your own video. You're not even standing by what you said earlier in the video. Now you're saying it's all lies and she needs to come out and tell the truth? Or was some of it the truth and she just needs to correct her lies? Maybe some of the things you call lies are things she didn't actually have proof on, or maybe she got them mixed up in her head. That's going to happen with anybody telling a truth or recalling things as far back as 2005 like Shannon forced her to do. Okay? The reason Emily didn't have proof on every single thing Shannon called her out on is because she wasn't a psychopath who saved every single thing that ever came out on the internet about Shannon. Only Shannon does that to Emily. So again, I want to ask you earlier where you say Emily's video is half truths and half lies, and then at the end say, stop telling all these lies. Which are the lies? Which are the truths? You can't have both and then finish by saying everything is lies.
I wish you all a happy new year. Hopefully this will bring a bit more truth to the situation. Happy New Year, and have a good rest of your night.
Okay, so what did this video prove? Nothing. What did this video back up of Shannon? Nothing. What did this video show the truth about Emily? I don't know. Maybe we could say that it was true she had some mental problems back in the day. While Bryce also shows the same things, that he had some mental problems back in the day. I think we could all agree that probably all of us had some mental struggles back in the day, especially if we all went all the way back 17 years ago. You're bound to have some sort of struggle in 17 years of life. Yeah, sure. Okay, great evidence, I guess. This video was completely pointless. This video does nothing to stop Shannon looking like a stalker. This is the only video that stuck up for Shannon. So if Shannon has just one single friend left who will speak up for her, why can't her own husband do that? Is that not insanely weird that this random guy who we barely know anything about and who gives us very milquetoast, watery, nebulous descriptions of Emily's past and Shannon's past and even his own is the only one who comes out and helps Shannon? Now, Bryce, speaking man to man, dude, you don't seem like a bad dude. In fact, you seem like you're probably a pretty good friend to Shannon. On the other hand, I don't really commend you on calling out somebody for past mental instability when you had your own issues. You can't call someone out for having those while also exposing your own. I mean, that's, like I said, an Uno reverse card. Anybody can play that. I really wish you would have been more descriptive with what you found to be truth or lies, because that got very vague. At most, I learned that Emily carried around baby teeth in a bag, which really doesn't change anything from what she said about Shannon. That doesn't change anything. Your one proof was that Emily wasn't fired from her job from Shannon calling it, which you have nothing to back it up. You've got no phone call, no evidence, no screenshots, anything. Look, I know you're just trying to be a good dude and be a good friend. And my advice to you is you're being used. You're being used, okay? You are the last pawn Shannon has. And while it might seem like you're out there doing a good thing for someone who you still consider a good friend, I think you should be wary. If she would do this to someone who just briefly passed through her life like Emily, just imagine what she would do to stab someone in the back who was a close friend. Just be careful, dude. That's all I'm saying. I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't hate you. I'm not angry at you. I invite you to come on my own show and talk to me man to man. And maybe we can get more descriptions about what is truth and what is lies. I'd be more than happy to host you. All right? I don't want anybody going to his channel, leaving angry comments or anything like that, talking down. There's no reason to do that. That's not going to add anything to this conversation. I hope you're well. I hope you have a great rest of the year, dude. I don't wish anything ill of you. And the only reason I did this is because I had to dissect this video and find out what other supposed truth there was, what other supposed lies were there. And I'm going to be very blunt and very honest and just say nothing. Nothing's been changed in my opinion. And while I know you just did it because you're a friend, I can't say I support your video and what you've said because you haven't really said anything. All right? Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I don't think there's much more we can do to dissect this video. I wonder if this video will even stay up on the internet. I wonder how much of all of this stuff will stay up on the internet. One of the main reasons I'm even posting this and sharing it with you guys is I have a feeling in the future a lot of what I've used as evidence on my channel is not going to exist on the internet anymore after more and more of this starts to break out. And I think even more so after Emily releases her video. Until then, I've been the Inksmith, and I hope you all have a great rest of the day.